Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be working on the variations of the figure eight. So let's get started. First thing is, figure eight is, before we get into that, we need to start with the X strike. So just making a plain old X, right? And that starts with making a down diagonal motion and another down diagonal motion. So you're going 1 and 2, down diagonal, down diagonal, and that creates an X, right? So that's why it's called the X strike. So we're going 1 and 2. So it's done like that, 1 and then 2, right? From the X going to the figure eight, what happens is, if you look at a sideways figure eight, an infinity sign, there is an X right at the middle, because it's basically a circle over here and a circle right there, and you put the two circles together right where they touch, that creates an X. And so when you're making the X strike, which is 1 and 2, what turns it into a figure eight is you're going 1 and you continue the motion into number 2, and then you continue the motion back to 1. So once you emphasize that continuation and you keep going, you can see it becomes a lot more circular, like this. So that's the main difference between a figure eight and the X strike. X strike is very choppy. It's just a straight line and then another straight line, and that's it. Whereas to a figure eight is boom, boom, boom. It's very, very circular, okay? And the striking is actually the same. It's taught the same way. When you strike, it's a slash and a slash. So even with a figure eight, 1, 2, 1, 2, you're making double slashes like so, okay? So like I said, in this video, we're going to be focusing on the variations of that. So we'll start off with a hammer strike, okay? So you're going to go ahead and do a hammer strike. Instead of a slash and a slash, you're going to do hammer strike, and then you're going to go into a slash, okay? So hammer strike, slash, hammer strike, slash, hammer strike, slash. So it's a hammer strike this way, and then you do your slash, hammer strike, slash, hammer strike, slash, boom, slash. That's your strike and slash. 1, 2, 1, and 2. So as you're doing it in the air, please emphasize the hammer strike and know that that's what you're doing, right? So this next one, we're going to go ahead and make the first one a slash, and the second one is your hammer strike. So slash, and then here's your hammer strike, and then here's your slash, hammer strike. So this is 1, 2, 1, and then 2. So slash, hammer strike right here, basically going with a backhand, slash, hammer strike. 1, 2, 1, boom, right there. That's your number 2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you could still do it nice and smooth, but you're changing it up. And of course we could go hammer fist, so double hammer fist. So number 1 is the hammer fist, and then number 2 is also the hammer fist. So boom and boom. 1 and 2. All right, so you could do it both ways like that. And so the next one, we're going to go ahead and move on into a stab. We're going to incorporate a stab. So it's going to be a stab and then a slash. So your number 1 is now a stabbing motion. Number 2 is a slash. It goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Stab, slash, stab, slash, stab, slash, stab, slash, stab, and slash, right? Now, one of the things also that we do is we change the stab. So we go from a stab and we change it into a slash. Immediately after the stab, we make it into a slash, and then we go back to the slash for the other side of the diagonal. So it's 3 strikes now. It goes 1, 2, 3. Stab, slash, slash, stab, slash, and slash. It's still a figure eight. Stab, slash, slash, stab, slash, slash, stab, slash, slash, stab, slash, slash. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot more variations, more techniques that you could mix in there. But one of the things, like for example, you could throw a punch. So you throw a punch and then a slash. Punch and slash. And of course you could mix in the punch with a hammer fist. You could mix in the stab with the hammer fist, or stab with a punch. You know, there's a lot more. But please have fun with that. So I hope it kind of expands your idea of the figure eight. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.